Today we're going to turn a computer mouse into this obstacle avoiding robot. So for this project we need a computer mouse, two 1.5 volt DC motors, two single pole double throw switches, you could use the ones in the mouse, some wire, paper clips, two AAA batteries and a AAA battery holder. You could also swap the paper clips for craft wire and install an optional switch. The first step is to take the mouse apart so we can use it as its body. You don't have to use a mouse for this, you could simply use the battery holder as its body or anything else you can scavenge. Next we need to cut out a space at the front to mount the switches. They should look like this, with the two normally closed contacts closest together. They need to be able to take a knock, so I've secured them in place with some hot glue. Now we need to make some holes for the motors, one either side of the mouse. The angle of the motors is up to you, but the more spread out they are, the faster the robot will move. Once you're happy with the angle, fix them in place with some more hot glue. You could put a little dab on the end of the motor shaft to give it some grip, or use some heat shrink tubing. Next we need to work out where to put the batteries. A AAA battery holder fits perfectly in my mouse, but you could just use some battery contacts if you don't have the room, or even experiment with two 9-volt batteries if you're feeling adventurous. To stop the back from dragging, your robot might need a rear wheel. I fashioned one from the scroll wheel that came with a mouse, and some metal tubes I found in my parts bin. I wanted to reuse as much as the mouse as possible, but this could be as simple as taking a paper clip and inserting a bead and hot gluing it to the back of the body. Now everything's in place, it's time to wire it up. Start by soldering the two normally closed contacts together on the switches. Then take a piece of wire or paper clip and solder the two normally open connections together as well. Then solder the positive connection of one motor to the remaining connection on the switch, and do the same with the negative connection of the other motor to the other switch. Don't worry if you've got these the wrong way round, you can swap them later. Then connect the remaining motor tags together using a wire across the middle. Now solder a wire from the positive output of the batteries to the normally closed connection on the switches. Then solder the negative output to the normally open contacts we soldered together earlier. The final connection is the third wire from the battery holder, connected to the shared positive and negative end. Connect this wire to the joined motor tags. Now you can insert some batteries and test that it works. Both motors should be powered in the same direction, and when you close one of the momentary switches, the motor on that side should reverse direction. Now for these to be triggered, we need to give the robot some whiskers. I use some aluminium craft wire for this, but you could straighten out some paper clips and use those. You can solder them to the switches, or use spade connectors for something more robust. As my craft wire is made of aluminium, I had to use some special solder that works with it. Once they're done, they should look something like this. Now it's finished, you can test it out. It should scoot along the floor pretty fast and be able to avoid obstacles you put in its way. If it's not moving fast enough, make sure you're using fresh batteries and try adjusting the angle of the motors. To finish, you could add a switch so you don't have to keep removing the batteries to turn it off. A regular switch like this will stop it moving forwards, but the motors will still activate when a whisker is triggered. To disable it completely, it needs to be a double pole, double throw switch. To see why, let's have a look at a schematic. If we trace the circuit round, we can see that only one battery is in use when moving forwards. If a switch is triggered, it uses the other battery to power one of the motors in reverse. When both switches are triggered, it again only uses one battery to power both motors. So to add a power switch, we need to interrupt two connections, one for each motor. At first glance, it looks like we could do it here at this common connection. But if we look carefully, we can see that there's still a circuit through the batteries. It's good enough if left on a desk, but if something accidentally triggers the whiskers, then it'll shoot backwards. With a double pole, double throw switch, we can interrupt both connections and turn it off completely. I mounted one in the hole left by the scroll wheel on the mouse. The beauty of this robot is that it doesn't use any complicated electronics and can be built from parts you probably already have lying around. This is one I made a few years ago using a battery holder I cut out from an old remote control. so give it a go. I have a full write-up on my website linked below if you need any help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.